Canadian forces are the most trusted institutions, political parties the least trusted. This is getting into some territory that you may have been reflecting upon in your democracy boot camp. So the forces are up there at, and this is the top three of a 7-point scale, and this is sort of a great deal of trust in the Canadian forces, 78%, the Supreme Court, the justice system, Parliament of Canada. So from 07 to 2010, 55 down to 42, political parties 32 down to 19. So interesting. We love our democracy, but we don't like Parliament and we don't like parties. So, Yet Canadians are increasingly satisfied with our system of government. This is another really fascinating finding. So in 1991, 7% of us were very satisfied with our system of government in Canada. So that's federalism, the parliamentary system, the whole ball of wax. And another 27% were somewhat satisfied. 94, 03, 2010. 74% of us are satisfied with our system of government, but we don't like Parliament and we don't like political parties. All right, this will require a political philosophers to tell us what is going on. So we've actually got a great country, things are going well, it's just politics that's no good. And it's kind of an interesting thing because it could well be that part of the apathy and the disengagement comes from the fact that people are kind of more or less satisfied with the way things are. And that only when you actually are dissatisfied or there's something really great that the parties are trying to offer us, like Medicare or unemployment insurance or something we're fighting for, like our country being held together or not, those are things that actually mobilize the mass public. And when things get kind of great, then you'd say, well, you know, like, it isn't going to change if I don't vote, right? Like, the world's, right, it's still going to be okay. And if you're young people saying, well, what are they debating? Is there anything there that'll do me any good? And you'd say, I'm not so sure. So then you're asking young people to do their duty. Well, the boomers decided that doing your duty was for the parents. And the boomers were going to have fun. Doing your duty and not pursuing your own materialism and your own happiness seemed like a ridiculous idea. So what do you think their kids are going to think? Anyway, but things are fine. The system works. Satisfaction with the system of government spans across the country. Alberta, well, look, 22 up to 76. They've got Mr. Harper as our Prime Minister. Manitoba, Atlantic Canada, Ontario, right across the country. People, the proportion of us across the country thinking the system works. Now, if you're a federalist, you're thinking this is really great that you have a consensus that the system works. Look at this. Young people, 31% in 1991 thought the system of government was good. It's now 75%. The same generation of people who are generally disengaged from political participation. It's a challenge for you, right? If they were really dissatisfied, like young people are in places like Egypt, Libya, etc., you do get young people mobilized. Young Americans who helped Obama, they were mobilized because they'd had 8 years of George Bush. Okay, and then you can see among the elderly, they were at 48%, and they're now up to 76% satisfied with the system. Okay, so conservatives, satisfied. That makes sense. They're now running the country. Liberals, satisfied, 80%. NDP, 69. The Bloc. The Bloc is satisfied with the Canadian political system, and they want to bust up the country. Right, okay. I think it's wonderful that we would have a country. In other countries, of course, they'd be on trial for what? Sedition, or what do you call these things? Treason, yes. Here we're handing out orders of Canada. So